What's up YouTube, Heavens of Wargames, bringing you a test turn video for the Cyber Angel deck profile that I did for you guys the other day. Now we're going to do our standard test turns, so free going first, free going second. We'll show you what the Cyber Angel can do and kind of go from there. They are relatively budget to pick up. I think the chairs and the scepters have even dropped in price, and all the Cyber Angels got their main reprints in that horrible set without fluffle patchwork. Frightful patchwork. Anyway, let's go. So our first test on a 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually really cool. So with our first test on a 5, it's kind of dependent on where we want to go from here. I would go activate pre-prep of rights, search out our Serapha Queen and our Hymn of Light, normal summon our Manju. Manju searches us out our Herald. Now the best thing about this is you can end your board with a Herald, but the only downside is you'll only have one negate in hand, but you do rip a card from your opponent's hand, or you draw 2 and pitch 1. It's entirely up to you on how you want to play this. So in this one here you can activate, I would activate Hymn of Light first. It's a shame. Oh no, hang on. Will this stack? Let's have a look. If code treated, you can make all ritual monsters you control gain 1,000 attack and defense, and it doesn't actually say once per turn. So, if you go Dawn of the Herald, tributing off a day 10, getting your Herald of Perfection, your day 10 will go off, giving an extra K to Herald of Perfection. You banish your Dawn of the Herald to add your day 10 back to hand. You then activate your Hymn of Light, send in day 10, bringing your Serapha Queen on board. Now your Serapha Queen goes up to 35, your Herald goes up to 48 defense, and 38 attack, if I've done that right, because it doesn't actually say once per turn that you can only use it as a as fodder. You've got Hymn of Light in the graveyard for protection for these guys, and you've got a negate off of Herald of Perfection. Now you can use Serapha Queen's effect to pitch one from your opponent's hand, or its effect to draw. So, or you can just add a light monster. So you can add a day 10 back to hand, and then a day 10 can then you'll then have 2 negates with Herald of Perfection. So it's entirely up to you on how you want to play this one. Now, in my personal opinion, I'd probably rip one from my opponent's hand or add one for the negate. But because it's a test stand, we'll draw 2 and pitch 1 as well. There you go. So you can pitch your Ben 10. And you've got a Seraph and Sovereign Chair play next turn, or you've got 2 negates with Herald of Perfection. It's entirely up to you, and that is kind of the variety that the deck has to offer. And like I said, you have the Ritual Spell in the graveyard as well to protect your Serapha Queen and your Herald. Then if you pitch off of Herald, you can use Serapha Queen's effects as well during your opponent's end phase. So it kind of gives you quite a few options there. That was a very nice opening hand. And your Serapha and your Herald are disgustingly strong. Ooh, that's interesting. Kind of got plays here. You activate Sanctuary. You can go Dawn of Herald route or the Hymn of Light route. You're probably better off going down the Dawn of Herald route because that is your more defensive kind of play. By doing so, you would probably pitch your Hymn of Light, which gives you protection in graveyard straight away. And add a light ritual monster. So we can go with our Ben 10. The only downside for the Ben 10 is you add her back, but you can't really do much more from that, if that makes sense. Your other option is adding your day 10 to give your Herald an extra K, which makes it a bit more defensive in that sense. So you would normal summon your Manju. Your Manju would search you out your Herald. You would then activate your Dawn of the Herald. Banish Dawn of the Herald, going like that, tributing off your day 10, giving that an extra K. You would then use, you could then banish Dawn of the Herald to add a day 10 back to hand, and gives you 2 negates with your Herald of Perfection, and kind of go from there. So it's not too bad. You've got your Scepter for your next turn. You've got your Hymn of Light to protect from destruction, and then you've got 2 negates with Herald of Perfection if you wish as well. So it's not as explosive, but it is very, very defensive. If you get a Herald of Perfection out first turn, 9 times out of 10, then you've got the protection you kind of need. Anyway, that was our second test hand going first. Let's do our third test hand going first, and then we'll show you how aggressive the deck can be. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, okay. Again, quite interesting. Let's go with pre-prep of rights. I would rather go for the Seraph. So, let's go for the Seraph and a Hymn of Light. Activate Ritual Sanctuary. Sanctuary would ditch Hymn of Light to add Ben 10. Activate Dawn of the Herald, pitching Ben 10, getting us our Herald of Perfection. Banish our Dawn of the Herald to add back Ben 10 to hand. Ben 10 obviously gets the effect to search. Now you can search out pretty much anything you want. I believe it's a light fairy, so you've got the options to search out your Manju, or you search out your first part of the Scepter kind of engine. Let's go. Let's go with Manju, because we're not going to use our normal summons. We might as well kind of extend our plays as best as we possibly can. I believe. Let me just double everything about that one. Normal summon this, search out. No, what am I talking about? Of course, Doi. Of course, you search out the Scepter. Because then you activate Hymn of Light, send your Ben 10 again, getting out your Queen. Ben 10 then searches out your second Scepter, or what you need. Yeah. You've got 2 Hymn of Light, so protecting your ritual monsters there. And now because we have a normal summon, we're going to go normal summon, effect, add that chair, special that chair. Draw off of that chair, special in that chair, Jesus. Draw off of that one. You could have extended further if you had more space. Anyway, then go into your 3. And because we're going first, it's Ouroboros. Detach off of Ouroboros, pitch one from your opponent's hand. And then your Queen can then pitch another one. In this example, not that we need to, but you could add back the chair or your Ben 10. We've got the protection, we've got the negate, so let's use Serapha and let's get a draw 2 and pitch 1. There you go. If you want to pitch the Maxi, it leaves you with 3 negates, or you pitch that and you've got the Maxi. Depending on what you think you're going to face, it's entirely up to you. That is probably your best first turn board because you've got protection on board there, you've ripped from your opponent's hand there, you've ripped from your opponent's hand there, or you've drawn with that one, entirely up to you what you want to do, and you've got 2 Himmelites in graveyard for protection for both those guys. So that was very, very nice. Okay, now let's get a bit more aggressive, shall we? Let's see how many times we can take our opponent out, or if not, put them out of reach of kind of winning the game, shall we? Second lot of test hands, which is going second. Let's show you how aggressive this deck can be, shall we? Okay, so our first 6 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, it's a shame because we actually want Manju on board, but we're going to go with our draws rather than the search because that's probably our best luck about it. Now, yes, obviously strikes and warnings and all that stuff will stop us, but we're going to go out as we do. So, we'll normal summon our chair, chain it 1, and then we'll chain both the chairs in hand there. And then search out our final chair there. Shuffle it out there. So we're going to special out the 2 chairs there. They get a double draw. 1, 2. This chair special summons itself out and gets us another draw. That then special summons it out because it's a Star Seraph. Straight away, we haven't done too blooming bad. Activate pre-prep of rights. Now, being aggressive, I'm probably going to go for Seraph Queen. Herald can work just as well if you want. It gives you a bit more of a defensive play, but you kind of go from there. Now, your best three to go overlay with will be your 2 scepters and your Star Seraph Sovereign Chair, and you can go into your Evil Ouroboros if you want, if you're going to rip one from your hand, or if your opponent's got 3 cards on the field, I would go Deltaros. Because when you XYZ with Deltaros, you've got 2 pops off your scepters there, and then they give you 2 draws. You detach as well from Deltaros, and you've popped a 3rd card. It really depends if you want to pick from your hand, bounce a card, or banish it, so it's entirely up to you, and that is what your hand's left with there. We have even more plays now to be more aggressive. Can you only activate one? Sorry, you can only activate one of them per turn. We still have incredible strong hands, so we just go Hymn of Light, pitch our day 10 for our Queen. Now this is only because we want to be more aggressive. Otherwise you'd probably send your Ben 10 to search out a light fairy monster and kind of go from there. But by doing so, that's now 35. During the end phase we pitch, return or draw more. Now yes, we could have used the chairs if we wanted to and cleared that off, but it doesn't quite get us where we want to go. This is probably our strongest kind of play. We've cleared our opponent's board, we've popped 3 cards. We're going to attack for 35 and then attack for 25. Now, you could have left these in attacks if you wanted to. It's entirely down to you on how far you think you're going to be popping. Now, again, if you wanted to be a bit more defensive or a bit more future sight, you would have pre-prepped into your perfection plays and gone that way. So there's your options that you have there. And then you would have done about 1,000 left. You wouldn't have got your end phase kind of like draws or pitch from hands or anything like that. Kind of gone from there. So still very, very strong, because in total that one was 6k damage. But with the Herald of Perfection, you go a bit more defensively. You take off about 700 life points, I believe, so you go down to 5-3. But you've got the defense in hand. You had such a large hand anyway, so you're better off. You could have defended for a little bit longer. Anyway, our next hand of 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same rules with Maxi as always. It's going to be a 1-for-1 swap. Okay, now we do have the Star Sephiroth kind of play in our hands, but it means we get a day 10. We have to put a day 10 onto the field. Now, by doing so, you activate your Machine Angel Ritual, you send your Ben 10, you get your day 10 onto field, and then you get to add a ritual spell card from our deck or graveyard. So we put our Angel Ritual engraved there. We add an Angel Ritual there. Our Ben 10 searches us out our Sovereign Chair. There we go, there's that there. We'll then shuffle it up because we're going to be doing, well, we're going to do more search. We'll normal summon our Star Seraph there, chain in that effect there, searches out our second chair. Our first chair goes off, giving us 1 draw. Our second chair goes off, giving us another draw. And that is awesome on top of that. We activate our pre-prep of rights now. If we want to go defensive, we go Herald. If we want to go offensive, we go Seraph Queen. So it's entirely down to you here. We also have the ability to go into Dakini. Now, a day 10's kind of served her purpose already. If we use our pre-prep of rights, let's go for... Like I said, it's entirely up to you where you go from here. This is your offensive play or your defensive play. Because we're being offensive, I'm going to choose that. Now, if we go into our Deltaros, we've got 2 pops. If we go into Ouroboros, we've got a bounce and a pop. It's entirely up to you where you want to go here. Again, more offensive, I'm going Deltaros. Scepter pops and draws. Deltaros detaches and pops. Activate Hymn of Light. Tributing off a day 10 for Queen. Queen goes up to 35. So we might have been better doing that Queen play later. Let's have a look. I can get Vrash on board, I believe. If I activate Machine Angel Ritual, Himmelight's back in hand still. If I activate our second Machine Angel Ritual, tribute off Dakini and Manju, that's our 10, gives us Vrash. Vrash can then use her effect to destroy as many face-up monsters your opponent trials as possible that were special summoned. Obviously Deltaros dependent on how you've played that one out. Then you activate Hymn of Light, get rid of your ID 10, Surf Queen, Vrash goes up to 4k, Srath goes up to 35, Deltaros is on 25. If you want to be a little bit more, or they're playing Darks or whatever, you go into Diamond and you've pretty much got game, because your Vrash has done your damage, your Deltaros has done damage, and your Queen's done damage, and then you've still got 2 Machine Angel Rituals engraved that protects all your light monsters, so we'll protect all 3 of those. So that's pretty damn cool and aggressive. Anyway, let's go into our final test hand of going second. Let's see if we can end it just as well as we did that one, shall we? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is that? I don't think I could do anything with that. I need to summon the Petite Angel. It's kind of disappointing. Normal summon the Petite Angel, and then it lets me add a Machine Angel Ritual. Doesn't really help too much, because I mean, I activate the Ritual Sanctuary, I can pitch the Machine Angel Ritual, add our Hymn of Light, activate our Hymn of Light, getting Queen on board and Ben 10 to grave. Ben 10 then searches. She can pretty much search the chair for the next turn, I suppose. If I want to get the Cyber, if I want to get the Petite off of board, I could use that as part of the tribute fodder, I suppose, just so that I haven't got a 300 attacker on board. My Queen then gets effects during the end phase as well. Not the best of opening hands, but still not bad. We kind of did something with nothing, so you can kind of see how important Ritual Sanctuary is and stuff like that. Let's redo that one, or do another one, just to kind of show what we can do, shall we? It wasn't bad. We still did enough. We got our Queen on board. Obviously, Herald is your more protected version. There we go, there's our 6 again, a little bit better this time. So we'll activate our pre-prep of rights. Now pre-prep of rights can get us our Herald, or it can get our Queen as well. That's entirely down to us how we want to play it. We can get a 3500 Queen on board, or we can get a 2800 Herald with a bit of negation. So if we go that way, we could normal summon. If we wanted to, we could get a day 10 on board as well, and she'll searches out a ritual spell. Let's figure. I think, is there a way? Just adds a ritual spell. Okay, let me see if I can figure this one out and do this one properly. I want to get her on board, so normal summon Petite Angel. Can I do this? Maybe I'm just making things up, I don't know. Just try to figure it out. No, that's right, yeah. Normal summon that, search out Ben 10. No, I think I've completely lost where I was going. Dawn. Banish. Adds Ben 10 back to hand. Ben 10 searches. Ben 10 can search you out another herald. Oh, that was it. Yeah, there we go. So you've got that in attack. Then you activate another herald. This time going with a day 10. Gives you perfection. They got to 28s. You banish the dawn. You add back your a day 10. And you've got more negates. And then you've got a warning. There we go. So you've got two 28 beaters on board, or 38 defenders, however you want to play it. Again, it's more defensive hand than not. Then you've got protection, you've got warning to stop your opponent going off. So yeah, that is it for the test hands. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left hand corner.